welcome. You have tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me Shel D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. And before we connect with our experts, let's have a quick look what the markets are up to. So Shel, once again, record high levels, and this time all credits to the positive global cues.
Absolutely. A very good morning to you, Shrishti. And yes, we have hit a fresh record high level once again for the benchmark indices, with Nifty actually surpassing the 25,250 mark. You had very good strength coming in for Sensex as well. Now we're mildly off the day's highest point, but nevertheless we've conquered a new feat once again in today's trading session. But with that, actually, let's kickstart with the show. A show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. And we have Lancelot Dcunha, who's joining us on the fundamentals today, while on the technicals, we have Kunal Bothra, who's joining us on the show. A very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Lancelot. Thank you so much for joining us in ET Now. And let me actually quickly start with taking the queries then. And the first query that I have is coming in from a senior citizen, Mr. R.G. Rao, who's writing to us from Trichy. And he has 700 shares of SBI with 4 times return. He would like to offload about 25% and invest the proceeds in the share, which will give him a good return for the next 6 months period. So Kunal, let me come to you then. What's your take coming in on SBI? 4 times return is what he's making. Makes sense to offload 25% and park that money in another counter?
Yeah, I think you can do that. I think looking at the way many of these PSU banking stocks have behaved, there could be a phase where the index could get into a pause. And it could be a good time to move out into some other sectors. I'm not sure whether you're looking at high beta spaces or high beta sectors, but I think if that's the case, then I would probably believe Grasim at current levels start to look attractive. The stock is getting into a mild bit of a recovery as well as a breakout zone, and the sector has underperformed erstwhile, so which means that the risk reward to initiate a buy is also pretty much lucrative.
Alright, then moving on to the next query, and Lancelot, a very good morning to you. And the first query that we have for you is from Ravi, and he's holding 50 shares of Gujarat Gas, but his buy price is all close to 600 rupees. Seems like a recent purchase. What is your opinion on this particular counter, Lancelot? Good to hold on?
Yes, I think Gujarat Gas is in a good space because as more and more energy required by the country, you find the move towards cleaner fuels. And natural gas is one of the cleaner fuels, which is non-polluting in a sense. So there is going to be demand, there is going to be growth in the space, and one should look at, holding on to the stock if you haven't bought it as yet. Although if you are looking to buy into the stock at this point in time and you do not have any holding, then maybe one can wait for a little bit of correction because the stock has moved up quite sharply over the last couple of months.
Right, let me take this next query then, and this one is coming in from Nikhil Sharma, who's writing to us from Mumbai, and he's mentioned that he's an intraday trader, Kunal. He has 200 shares of IDBI Bank at a price of around 105.98 rupees per share. Right now, it's below its stop loss of around 104.4. What should he do? When should he look to book profits, or should he hold on for the longer term? What's your take, given the fact that he's an intraday trader, but surprisingly, he's hoping to hold on to this for the longer term?
Yeah, I think if you already have a stop loss at place, and I'm not sure what was the reason for you to hold on to the stock, and my sense is that 105 was the point where the stock had given a false kind of a breakout. Now the charts, of course, on the medium term basis look attractive, but the only case in point is that because you are following a certain kind of a trading style, I think it makes a lot of sense to stick to that style. Because lot many stocks, when stop losses get hit on intraday basis, and if you don't get to exit those stocks, they get into a multi-week correction like what's happened for IDBI. So I believe largely, I think what you should be doing is follow the style which you've been trading for, I'm assuming, the past many years. On the charts for IDBI, as I mentioned, that medium term charts are looking attractive, but the point is that how much time would the stock take to come back towards 105? That could be a bit questionable, but short to medium term charts are still looking attractive for the stock.
Alright, then moving on to the next query, and Kunal, once again coming to you, because Deepak wants a view on, actually has given a list of stocks, but because of paucity of time it's not possible to take call. So let me take the first two. One is NHPC. He's holding 250 shares, buy price is 100 rupees, and he also has 50 shares of ITC from a price of 498 rupees. What to do in both of these names, Kunal? Would you advise to book out or move out of anyone and make a switch in Tata Power?
Well, I think relatively, if you ask me if you're a short-term trader, then I think switching to Tata Power could make sense, because that's a chart which is coming back into the thick of momentum. So purely on the basis of momentum, NHPC, ITC could be a bit more sideways, but Tata Power could get into a slight quicker degree of momentum as well as an uptrend. But then the charts for NHPC and ITC on the medium-term basis are also very attractive. What these stocks are going through is their natural phase of consolidation. ITC, I think, is getting back into a breakout mode above 510 mark, but the stock has been unable to sustain about those levels. So if in case the stock breaks past about those 510 mark, I think you could look to re-enter or maybe try and hold on to ITC. NHPC also, I think the stock has already gone through a 2 month of correction, so the risk reward at current levels is attractive. But as I said, that it all depends on your time frame as well as your trading style. Short term wise, in terms of momentum, Tata Power is a better lot out of the three names which you mentioned.
All right, this next query that I have is coming in from Maruti. He's writing to us from Kolkata, and he wants to know about KPIT Tech, Lancelot, whether for the medium term makes sense to go ahead and buy this counter, and also Poonawalla FinCorp.
KPIT Tech has risen quite a bit in the last 1 year, and now valuations are trading at little elevated levels where the risk in terms of any earnings disappointment becomes a big trigger for a downward revision in the in the price earning multiple. So at this level, risk has become elevated. So one would probably wait for a 20-25% correction in order to, let's say, buy the stock for the long term. And Poonawalla FinCorp, I think, can be looked at. It is a new entrant in the financial services space. Of course, the promoters have a lot of funding, and hence they have been able to, well capitalize the company and leverage on its strengths. But if one is looking at a longer term perspective, and I think the opportunity in terms of valuation still offers decent valuations, a company like Bajaj Finance would be a better alternative as opposed to buying into the Poonawalla FinCorp.
Take on these counters, but with this, it's time to slip into a very short break. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. So,
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's continue taking your stock-related queries that we already have with us. This next query that we have is coming in from Aditya, and he wants to know if it's good time to enter Reliance based on the bonus stock news, and what would be the right price to enter. Lancelot, since you're smiling, anyways, this query is coming to you. Do you think that you should look at Reliance Industries based only on the bonus share issue, or otherwise also Reliance Industries should feature in your portfolio?
So, the bonus issue actually doesn't change the valuation of the company, right? It just increases the stock. The stock gets split, it becomes double the quantity, and so the market cap should get absorbed. But somehow this feeling that you're getting one share free of charge is, leads investors to buy the stock just before the bonus so that they get free shares. So in reality, it doesn't change where the business is at, what is the valuation at which the business is trading. But yes, in any case, Reliance is a very interesting play because it has, the digital piece in the business, which is Geo, and the entire media entertainment space is also forming part of that. At some point in time, the entertainment media and the retail play will come up for IPO. So there could be unlocking of value while these IPOs list separately. So yes, Reliance is an interesting play. And obviously, at this point in time, valuations are pretty much valued well. So one can, buy if there isn't an IPO, there isn't a bonus also, or maybe even as a strategy, one can wait post bonus. If there's a lot of selling happening from people who bought in, you can accumulate the stock definitely.
Moving on to the next query, and this query that I have, Kunal, is coming in on ACC, wherein Prem Kumar from Jaipur is already holding 100 shares for ACC. Buy price is 2,700 rupees. Can hold for the next 1 year. What's your take on this one? Continue to hold on, or maybe look out for any other stock?
Yeah, you can continue to hold on, but again, a stock which is lacking momentum, the stock, I think if I'm not wrong, for the last 6 months or 7 months was trying to break past about the 2750, 2800 mark. And the breakout failed because there was no volume push. So even though there was a point when the stock had broken past about the 2750 levels, but the volumes cumulatively on the monthly charts were not very attractive, and that was one of the major reasons why the stock succumbed back into the selling pressure and came back or has come back to that previous swing lows of 2300, 2350 mark. So again, a stock which is I would probably believe into a relative consolidative or an underperforming stage. You can continue to hold on. It's not as if that the charts have turned out to be very weak. So I think if there is some expectation of a rally or a pickup of price trend or even a mild recovery, you might probably get 2450, 2500 as a better zone if you're looking to exit the stock.
Kunal, back to you once again. Guru wants to know your view for the short term when it comes to Tech Mahindra. I'm not sure if Guru has already purchased the stock, or he's looking to purchase. But nevertheless, what's your view coming in on Tech Mahindra?
See, I think a couple of months back had indicated a phase that the IT stocks could make a very strong comeback, and especially the large cap names. These stocks have done fabulously well over the last 2.5 odd months. I would continue to believe that this could be a very strong trend in the making. So you may continue to look to buy Tech Mahindra if you're looking to buy the stock at current levels, but keep some powder dry. And I would probably believe that even the mid cap end of the IT stocks, they would start to look relatively more attractive given the way the large cap stocks have already performed.
All right, Kunal, once again coming to you because this query is from Mindu and she wants a positional trade for 2 metal stocks. Any of the metal counters that you're tracking at this point, because Mindu has Vedanta in mind?
So yeah, Vedanta is something which is attractive and something which I've been recommending also over the last 1.5 odd week. My sense is the stock in this leg of uptrend could probably come back to that 500 mark, which could be a potential second round of a major test or a breakout. The stock has started to show signs of relative strength, outperformance as compared to the peers. Even JSW Steel is something which I've been highlighting over the last 1 week, especially the stock breaking past about that 900 barrier and now about the 950 or just about the 950 odd mark. So that's also another stock from the entire metal pack which you can consider at current levels.
All right, let me take this next one that is coming in from Vinod. He's writing to us from Chennai and he's saying he has 200 shares of Samil which he purchased in June. He's saying that even if the company showed good profitable growth and acquisition, he's saying that he's not seeing that sort of a rise in the stock price actually. What's your take coming in on this? Lancelot, should he continue to hold on to Samil or look to exit?
Actually, I don't track this company, so I don't have really a view on it.
All right, no problem. Kunal, have you tracked the charts of Samil?
Well, yeah, I do. In fact, remember, I think at closer to 100 odd levels is what we recommended a strong buy for the stock on the monthly charts. It's played out quite well. The stock is now almost at 200 odd levels. The stock has confirmed a major breakout of a multi-year resistance. 2017-18, the stock got stuck at the 180-85 odd band and it's managed to surpass those levels. So if you are looking at a longer term play, then I think keeping 180 broadly as a monthly based closing stop loss, you can consider buying the stock even at current levels.
All right, the next query that I have is coming in from Yuvraj and he's holding 1000 shares of IDFC Limited. But Lancelot, he is at a 6% loss right now. What's the long term view on this one? Good to hold on or maybe switch to some other banking name?
I think it's better to switch to some other banking name, while there may be merger between IDFC and IDFC First Bank, or how the whole business is going to get restructured is not very clear at this point in time. So it's better to switch to other good banking stocks or NBFCs, and one can probably get better appreciation over there.
Kunal, coming to you, this one is coming in from Pravi, who's writing to us from Kerala, wants to know, makes sense to buy M&M Finance and Wipro right now? Or if not these stocks, then which stocks do you think make sense to buy right now?
Yeah, both the charts are attractive. So, one thing is, one thing which you have to remember is that both these stocks are relatively high beta from the space. I'll call it high beta for M&M Finance, of course, because of the swings the stock typically tends to see. Wipro, I will call it high beta because of the sheer underperformance the stock had shown. I think the last 1.5 odd month the stock had gone through a 10% plus kind of a downtick on a single day on the back of, I think, results on news flow, and from there the stock is getting into a recovery phase. So as of now it's still considered to be high beta because of the events surrounding the stock price as compared to the peers. But yes, I think if you are if you're okay with trading this kind of a risk appetite, then I think both these stocks are good enough on the short term charts.
All right, Kunal, the next query that I have is coming in from Rajeshwari from Chennai. Purchase 70 shares of FACT, buy price is 1052. What's the short term view on this one, wait or exit?
See, just wait on to the stock, but I think not to average at the stock at current levels. In fact, there are two better charts from the fertilizer space which looks attractive to me. Coromandel Fertilizer, I think the stock is placed quite well. Chambal Fertilizer has been a stock which has consolidated quite a lot, and I think the stock is getting ready for a bigger breakout, potentially about the last 1 to 2 months of major consolidation. So both these charts relatively look more strong, and they've also been moderate to slight low beta for the sector as compared to stocks like FACT.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll address some more viewer queries. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock related queries then. And moving on to the next query that I have is coming in from Sheshma. And she wants an advice on UPL and Lancelot, given the fact that UPL has been under pressure for a long while now on the back of the earnings as well. They were quite suppressed, but now that the news flow is turning positive onto the financial numbers as well. What's your take on this, Lancelot? She is holding 100 shares, buy price is 590 rupees. Is that a hold or sell?
So I think the news flow has turned positive, and we are seeing earnings improvement as far as UPL is concerned. But I think the cash flows that are being generated over the next 6 months will be very crucial in order to bring down the debt that was raised for the acquisition of Arista. And given that background, one seems that the valuations have already moved up considerably. So one can wait for a while till we see how the next 6 months cash flows play out, and then you can take a call. If the cash flows show significant improvement, and then the worst would be behind the company, and then we could continue to hold at that point in time.
This one is coming in from a viewer, MP Srivastava, who has Bandhan Bank 225 at a price of 316 rupees per share. He's been holding on to this counter, he's saying, for a long time, and indeed a long time. What should he do?
Continue to hold on, and I think you can look to average closer to 190, 192 range for Bandhan Bank. That seems to be a strong support territory for the stock over the near to medium term charts. What I like about the stock is very recently, I think last 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back, the stock had given a confirmation of a 200 moving average breakout, even though it could not sustain because of the pressure on the banking index. But I believe that the second round of attempt towards the 200 DMA could lead into a strong up move.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Bandhan Bank, and that was our last query for the day. Thank you so much, Lancelot, as well as Kunal, for patiently waiting by and also patiently answering all of our stock related queries. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.